Buzz, he was very, very explosive. He could jump to the top of the square.
Outstanding basketball player, and also has a great smile.
Eddie Davis, unstoppable.
Ron Cole, another great 6'4" point guard along the lines of Stan Washington, really a good player.
Mike was the coach on the floor, but yet and still he was a real scoring threat.
You know, if he would have been 4 years later when they put in the three-point line, would have been just a huge weapon with his tremendous outside shooting.
Rusty Whitmarsh, competitive, very smart, could never beat him at anything. He beat me in ping pong, wrestling, volleyball, whatever.
Bob was one of the most consistent, dependable people on the basketball floor. He was the best man in my wedding, and, you know, I loved the guy.
Mike Whitmarsh, I might be a little bit biased, but is probably the best all-around player that I've seen here at the university. He just had the ability to make everyone around him on the court better.
Mike was just a winner. He hated to lose. He was an incredible competitor, and when the lights were on and it was game time, Mike was unbelievably talented and competed and did a lot of great things for us.
He had the best playful personality, but he was a fierce competitor. He carried our team and was an incredible athlete.
If you needed a pass towards a basket, Mike would get it for you. A rebound, Mike would get it for you. Great volleyball player, silver medalist in the Olympics. I miss him.
Gus McGee, serious but fun. Had a great smile and always brought a great smile.
Gus McGee is a Torero for life. Wonderful contributions as a student athlete, as a coach, and now as our #1 fan.
Jim Bravelli appeared calm, but inside he was full of emotion and passion for the game.
Tremendous player in the past, we all knew that, but was very calm, cool, and collect in crunch time.
He was a gentleman, a family man, and had a great vision for USD athletics, not just basketball, but taking the university to the next level.
Had a perfect temperament for coaching. He was one of the people that should have been hired, and he was hired.
I was fortunate enough to play for Coach Bravelli in high school. He coached me my junior year. First day of practice, he looked at me, and I was a long-haired punk kid. He said, "Get the heck out. Don't come back until you get a haircut. And if you don't come back tomorrow, don't come back at all." So I came back the next day, had a haircut. He pretty much took me under his wing, and he led us to the best record our school's ever had. And the next year he came to USD. And after my senior year, he recruited me and had a great 4 years here under his tutelage. It was great.
Well, the transition was not easy because Bernie left a high bar. He left a great basketball team. We inherited a lot of good players from Bernie, and they went to the NCAA playoffs the year before. What I had to do was not screw it up.
Coach Bravelli was a player. He was a very good player, and I had a chance to play against him when I got here. He was only 34 or 35, so there was immediate respect there. So when he had something to say about basketball, I listened. He didn't have a problem asking a player during a game what they thought. I mean, he would even say, what do you think we ought to do? And he already knew what we do. He just was asking.
He allowed us to play. We didn't play on the court, you know, not worrying about making a mistake. He had been a very prolific player himself, and knew that, you know, sometimes you make mistakes, and he let us play through that.
We were very successful in the Division II level, year in and year out. But one thing that I thought we were lacking is we couldn't create a rivalry on the Division II level. We're an independent. So we needed a conference, I believed, that had something in common with us. We were a small, private Catholic basketball school, and the West Coast Conference was really one that we could fit into.
The student body was ready. We had a petition signed by somewhere around 1,000 students. We, the players, were ready. The coaching staff was ready. We were already beating Division I teams on a regular basis, and it was just exciting. We
went to the Final Four that year on the Division II level, and that next year, in fact, I went into Tom Burke and I said, you know, we had talked about going Division I, and you told me to come back next year, and we did, and Tom and the president and Father Cahill made the jump into the Division I level and the West Coast Conference.
And at that time in the West Coast Conference, there were some teams that were really, really good. Pepperdine had a very good team. one of the top teams in the conference at the time. We went up there and beat them at their place. And the first win we had as a Division I team, and what makes it even more special to today is Jim Herrick, who was the coach at Pepperdine at that time and later coached at UCLA and other places, generally comes down at least once a year to a Torero game, and Mike Stockupper and I make it a point to remind Coach Herrick every year, and he just kind of smiles.
The top teams in this conference were always nationally ranked, so it wasn't going to be easy. What I was preaching was patience, and we had a little 5-year plan that we have to improve every year, get better every day, and hopefully by that 5th year we could really compete in the top level.
I played here in years 2 through 4 of his infamous 5-year plan. And the first 4 years we had a losing record. So as the 5th year was starting, Coach was being asked by the media about his 5-year plan, and that this was the 5th year. He said, when I said I had a 5-year plan, I didn't think anybody would remember. He said, I just thought it was a good thing to say. And now they're tracking me on this.
After over half the season, we were playing well, and we were competing against teams in the conference that maybe we didn't expect to beat prior to the season. So that really put us in a position to start to gain a lot of confidence.
The championship game, St. Mary's at USD, St. Mary's was a very talented team, really athletic, very strong.
I knew going in that they were a tremendously talented ball club. And I knew that in order for us to win, we had to play our best.
The game was at 7. I drove from my on-campus apartment up to the gym. I got up here at about 5:30, and as I pulled into the Sports Center parking lot, a police officer who was doing the traffic told me that there was no parking and I couldn't park there. And I told him, I'm playing in the game. And he said, well, I don't care, there's nowhere for you to park. So I looked at my watch, because this had never happened for a USD home game, and I thought maybe I was late for the game. I drove back to my apartment on campus and walked up with hundreds of people to the gym. When I got into the Sports Center, it was already sold out. You couldn't even see aisles in the seats. It was just pure people.
By the time the game started, it was packed, it was hot, the corners were 6 deep, and it was loud. It was the most electric atmosphere in all my years at USD.
After the first half, we were within striking distance. I think they were up 3 or 4 in the first half. And then our players came out in the second half and really started to play well and really started to play with a lot of confidence. And it was at that time that I felt like, wow.
But I think the main thing that really helped us in the game and the turning point was that crowd. It was basically, as the game was going on, every time we scored, the place erupted, and the Sports Center, it was like the roof was coming off the Sports Center. There was just no way that we were going to lose that game.
Especially when you look at our journey from those first couple of years when we turned Division I and to get where we were. It proved that we could do it with all of the right tools.
By the time the end of the game and we had won the game, everybody ran on the floor. Nobody wanted to leave. Of course, we took the nets down, but Eric Musselman and Keith Bostic sat on that rim for at least a half an hour. It was really something special to see. And what we did, we really unified the University of San Diego, both with the faculty and administration, community, the city itself. Everybody bought into this first championship that USD had accomplished.
The University of San Diego Toreros will play Princeton Tuesday night in Philadelphia, and that's the preliminary round as they make their first appearance in the NCAA tournament. USD, who captured the West Coast Athletic Conference title Thursday against St. Mary's, found out their first opponent just before leaving this morning.
What I'm going to do is get on the phone. They did play Santa Clara earlier in the season in a Christmas tournament, and Princeton beat Santa Clara by about 18 or 20 points. So we know they're going to be an excellent team, and anytime that you have a conference champion, which they are in the Ivy League, they're going to be very, very good.
Well, we're not going to know anything about these teams we're playing, and that doesn't bother us at all. We know what we got to do out there to win.
Going to the NCAA playoffs was a big deal for us. It would be our first trip there as a Division I team.
Particularly for the players, it was really a sense of accomplishment because, believe me, it wasn't easy. This was, again, a very good basketball conference. So we started from nothing, Every year we improved, every day we improved. We became a team to be reckoned with in that final 5th year, a championship team.
When you step back and look at it, in 1984, we were picked to come in 6th in the WCAC. And we won the league championship and we played in the NCAA tournament. And in the 30 years since then, no 6th place team has ever accomplished what the 1984 team did. It was a special team and it was a magical season.
This group of players was special in the way that they had great chemistry together and they blended as a team. And there was nothing more important than what they did together as a team and their success.
It's pretty remarkable how many friendships that have been developed and stayed throughout all these years. There must be 20 to 25 people I talk to on a regular basis that are involved in my life and my family's life and have been for all these years. And I don't know how it is at other universities, but I think that's pretty special.
The word there would be togetherness. We did a lot of things together. We ate together. We drank beverages together. But we always wanted to win together. And that was the motto of the team. Hey, we're going to win together. So the togetherness thing was the camaraderie. And to this day, I think we still have that with this team. It's been something special to be a part of.
You know, the guys that I was fortunate enough to play with, there's so many that remain very, very close friends today. It's like a family atmosphere, and many of them are like brothers.
I'm most proud that every year we improved, obviously. You know, it was really a venture together as a group. And, you know, secondly, that it worked. You know, that I went into an administration, the administration really bought in and believed in the effort that we were going to try and do to bring the university with us in making this effort. And it worked. It brought everybody together. It was really something to see as we won that championship. And finally, just the players. Just to really see the players come back after so many years and every year as alums to support the University of San Diego. It was all about personal relationships that lasted a lifetime.